I feel the exact moment your soul cries out for help. I know the weight of the anxiety that crushes your chest and the profound weariness that takes over your thoughts. It was no accident that your path crossed with my voice. I prepared this encounter. The urgency that screams within you found an echo in my heart. So I ask you, my daughter, to stop now and receive this important message that I send directly to your spirit. It is a message of relief delivered now at the exact moment of your greatest need. But tell me, could you bear to discover the silent promise I have kept for your life, something that will transform your tears into strength until nightfall? Remember what I did in the past, how I guided my people through the divided waters when there was no longer any land escape. The foundations of my word are unshakable and true. If you stay with me in these next few minutes, I will tear the fear from your back, reveal the plan of peace I have for your future, and pour out the healing you have sought for so many years. If this word of God is already touching your soul and easing your breath, share with me in the comments your name, the country, state, and city from which you are listening, and what time it is where you are. And let a true cry overflow from your heart, declaring in the comments, "Lord my God, I am here. I subscribed because I love you and want to hear you. Draw even closer, subscribe to this refuge so you don't lose me. Leave your sign of affection and activate the notification of my revelations. Share this invisible embrace with someone who also cries in secret. Remain at peace and attentive until the last moment, because I will give a clear answer at the end. A phrase will be whispered to the heart of the one who remains, and whoever writes that phrase will receive prophetic blessings released in faith. Before we proceed, what does your soul need most today? Write the word HELP in the comments so that I may come to your aid. There's a reason your exhaustion has reached its limit on this journey. There's a purpose behind the silence you've endured alone. And what I'm about to reveal about your darkest nights will completely change how you see your own struggles. I know the exact weight of those nights when peace flees your heart. When the whole world around you falls silent and rests, your mind transforms into a battlefield. I feel the anguish tightening your chest as you face the inner darkness of your uncertainties, feeling completely alone in your daily struggles. The tears that flow from your spirit, silent so as not to worry those around you, echo loudly in the heavens. I want you to know that none of those tears were lost in the void. I collected each one of them. Remember the foundation I left recorded in Psalms chapter 30 verse 5, revealing that weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. My daughter, this is not just an old poem. It is my eternal truth being applied to your life at this very moment. Your night of affliction has seemed far too long, and the pain you carry in your soul has drained your last reserves of hope. But I am the God who calls your mourning into existence. While you think your weeping is endless, I am drawing the brightness of your new day with my own hands. Understand that the silence you have felt is not my absence, but rather my care working deeply at the roots of your being. Where you see delay, I am building resistance. There is a profound revelation about the reason you are experiencing this exhaustion, a mystery about your weakness that I am about to unveil before your eyes, something that will forever change the way you walk. If my spirit is already bringing calm to your despair, show your acceptance of this word with your likeness. May your soul feel the inspiration to enroll in this space of continuous communion. As a true act of spiritual love, share this consolation with those you feel also spend their nights in invisible tears. Tell me, what is the wound that bleeds the most when no one is watching? Write the word relief in the comments, sealing your faith that my hand is already upon your pain, and continue to listen to my voice. For what I will reveal to you about your exhausted strength is the miracle you have been asking for. I know that exact moment when your spirit whispers, in total exhaustion, that it cannot bear even one more burden. You have been trying to be the unshakable pillar for everyone around you. You have swallowed your own tears to demonstrate a strength that no longer exists within you, enduring emotional pains that were never yours to carry. Your soul feels crushed under the cruel obligation not to fail, but I sense your inner collapse. I see the immense fragility you try to hide from the whole world. It is precisely here, at the extreme limit of your human capabilities, that my true work of salvation comes to life within you. This is the foundation I revealed, and which is engraved in the second letter to the Corinthians, chapter 12, verse 9. My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. My daughter, you don't need to fight to be invincible. When your strength fades and your heart recognizes that it can no longer go on alone, it is not your end. It is the door that opens for my supernatural action to intervene in your story. I invite you to stop battling with your own defenses. Allow yourself to rest and collapse in my invisible presence. Your weariness is not a failure in my eyes, but the sincere altar where I pour out my glory and my support. If this breath of truth is renewing your breath to continue walking, let your joy overflow like an invisible seal of trust. May your soul feel the deep desire to inscribe itself in this space, so that my voice may be your daily compass. Spread this sacred comfort. Sharing it with that heart you know is one step away from giving up. Tell me, my beloved daughter, what is the unbearable weight you would place in my hands today if you knew I could carry it all for you? Write the word renunciation in the comments, declaring that today you relinquish control to me. There is still much you need to understand. There is a secret and impenetrable place where my love guards you when the fury of the winds tries to destroy your peace, a refuge I designed with your features, and which I am about to reveal to you, so that you will never again fear the storm. I feel the tremor of your soul when the winds of uncertainty blow furiously against your life. You have tried to build walls with your own hands, seeking temporary shelter in earthly opinions, in the approval of others, or in the false security of trying to control tomorrow. But the cold of helplessness continues to invade your chest. The fear of the future and the pain of past losses churn like a raging sea within you. I know perfectly well that feeling of being completely unprotected and exposed amidst the chaos. Listen with your soul to the immutable truth I left in Psalms chapter 46, verse 1, declaring that I am your refuge and strength, your ever-present help in trouble. My daughter, there is no safer shelter in the entire universe than the center of my love for you. When you run under my will, the winds may continue to blow outside, but within your spirit, I establish a peace that the whole world is incapable of destroying and that no torment can steal. My love is not a fragile hiding place that the storm carries away. It is an insurmountable fortress. You do not need to face the cruel blows of this life alone, trying to protect your own heart from further wounds and disappointments. Let me be the shield that absorbs the impact of your daily pains. Remain in my embrace, where no condemnation can reach you and no anguish can dictate your destiny. But something formidable and inexplicable happens when you decide to stay and trust in this shelter. There is a seed hidden in the dry soil of your own heart, a pure dream that you thought had died forever in the scorching sand of your personal desert, and which, under my care, is about to sprout and bloom before your astonished eyes. If this divine love is warming the coldness of your soul at this very moment, mark this moment of comfort by leaving your like as a confirmation that you have found your safe place. May your heart be touched to enroll in this path of peace, so that you never again feel far from home. Share this invisible embrace with that wounded soul that desperately seeks a spiritual roof and doesn't know where to rest. Tell me, in the silence of your intimacy with me, what storm are you fleeing from today? Write the word shelter in the comments, sealing your definitive entry into my eternal fortress. I feel it when you look at the dryness of your personal desert and believe you have nothing more to offer. Pain consumed a large part of your hope, and weariness drained your last reserves of joy. But it is precisely in the most arid and forgotten land that I make my most extraordinary miracles sprout. Every silent tear you shed, watering this dry ground of your soul, is being counted. If it is possible for you, only if it is possible, transform your gratitude into a seed of love through this channel. Consider my immense love and that of my son Jesus, and support using the link in the description of this video and in the pinned comment. There you will find the sacred place where your contribution of love can be deposited and consecrated before the Creator of all things. You can support with any amount. And always remember, only what fits in your heart. I receive with profound love. The amount itself doesn't matter. What truly matters is the heart with which you give, because what seems little to you may be immense to the one who receives. Whoever contributes any amount with a sincere heart Please remember to include your name and city with your contribution. On the first day of the following month, in a unique and special video on our channel, Divine Love, the Voice of God, your name will be remembered and mentioned in a heartfelt prayer of gratitude. For it is written in the second letter to the Corinthians, chapter 9, verse 10, "Now he who supplies seed to the sower and bread for food will also supply and increase your store of seed, and will enlarge the harvest of your righteousness. Every offering made in faith is a precious seed before me, your Lord, and I will not fail to bear fruit in your own desert. I watch in secret and reward in the sight of all." Stay until the end of this message, because I still want to touch your heart with my voice. There is still a raging storm that threatens to sink your oldest hopes, and I am about to rise from my throne of glory to pronounce a single word, a supreme command capable of immediately paralyzing all this chaos that terrifies you. If this promise of provision has brought light to your troubled soul, let your joy blossom as a symbol of covenant. May your spirit feel welcome to enroll and never walk alone on these sands. Share this seed with that person who, like you, awaits a rain of miracles. I ask you, beloved daughter, what is the seed of hope that you most need me to germinate in your life right now? Write the word providence in the comments and rest, for your harvest is already being drawn in the heavens. I feel the cold water of despair trying to drown your faith. The waves of bad news, the conflicts, and the furious winds of tribulation seem too strong for your small boat. Deep within your being, chaos has taken hold. Your heart races and your mind spins in a whirlwind of dark thoughts, making you believe I am silent while you sink into your pain. Your soul cries out for help, exhausted from fighting against the current of daily difficulties that try to drag away your peace. But listen carefully to the fundamentals of my word, recorded in the Gospel of Mark, chapter 4, verse 39, when my son Jesus stood up and rebuked the wind, saying to the sea, "Peace, be still," and the wind ceased and there was a great calm. My daughter, the same authority that silenced the fury of that impetuous ocean is the one I release right now upon your life. I command the storm in your mind to calm down. I command the waves of anxiety to recede and the winds of fear to immediately cease their force against you. You will not sink. I'm in absolute control of everything around you, holding your destiny in the palms of my hands. However, for this calm not to be just a passing relief, but your constant dwelling place, there is a step of extreme trust that you need to take. There is a daily spiritual tool I have prepared to anchor you, a constant presence I am about to give you, so that fear will never again steal your nights. If my voice has already begun to calm the turbulent waters of your heart, let your like serve as a true anchor of faith in this promise. May your soul feel the deep desire to enroll in this refuge, so that you will never again drift aimlessly through uncertainties. Share this divine calm with someone you know who is desperately fighting an invisible storm. Answer me honestly, in the silence of your spirit. What is the wave of fear that most frightened you to face alone until this moment? Write the word calm in the comments, taking absolute possession of the peace I have just decreed over your story. I feel when fragility tries to dominate your spirit, and the weariness of long days and sleepless nights weighs on you like an invisible burden. It is in this absolute silence, when tears flow unnoticed, that my presence draws near to you with the care of a loving Father who knows every scar on your heart. I know you need daily support, a word to hold your hand when the world seems to crumble and when starting over seems too heavy a task. Therefore, if your heart desires to go deeper with me, I have left you a gift in the form of a journey, which I wrote with much love and affection for all my beloved daughters and sons. The digital book, called Divine Love Devotional, The Voice of God. It was prepared to accompany you day after day in silence and deep intimacy, as a daily remedy for the pains that only we know. Access is also available via the link in the description of this video and in the pinned comment. And if today is not possible for you, do not condemn yourself in any way. Remain with me here, because I too will sustain you eternally with this message you are now hearing, and so that your heart may rest in peace and not be confused. After you register calmly, access will arrive directly in the email you registered, containing all the correct instructions, step by step, to begin walking daily by my side. For it is written in Psalm 119, verse 105, "Your word is a lamp to my feet and a light for my path." This gift is so that your steps will never again falter in the darkness, and so that you will have clear direction in all your decisions. Breathe deeply, my daughter. Continue trusting in me, for I am your constant companion. And now, breathe this breath of life that I breathe upon you, for the answer to your greatest affliction, the clean and shining garment that I have set aside for your new time, is about to be poured upon your weary heart, healing your wounded soul once and for all. If this divine care has filled your nights with peace, mark this moment of comfort, leaving your like as a seal of renewal. May your soul yearn immensely to embark on this journey, to feel my presence every day. Share this breath of love with that heart you know desperately needs companionship in its silent pain. Tell me, my beloved, from the depths of your being, what direction do you most implore me to take in this difficult hour? Write the word companionship in the comments and embrace the daily comfort I have prepared exclusively for you. I sense how your soul has been stripped of joy over the years. The accumulated disappointments, the harsh words you heard in the dark, and the frustrated dreams have acted like old heavy clothes that the world has forced you to wear. You have walked with your gaze downcast, feeling that your original essence has been lost amidst so many losses, believing deep down that your wounds dictate and define who you are. The mirror of your soul reflects the profound exhaustion of someone who has forgotten the lightness of smiling without carrying guilt. But listen to the unwavering truth I left in the book of the prophet Isaiah, chapter 61, verse 3. When I promised to give you a crown of beauty instead of ashes, the oil of joy instead of mourning, and garments of praise instead of a spirit of despair. My daughter, your acute pain is not your ultimate destiny. At this very spiritual moment, I am removing with my own loving hands the rags of sadness, the cloak of invisible mourning, and the crushing weight of rejection that they tried to place upon your fragile shoulders. I am covering your spirit with a new and immaculate garment, woven with threads of eternal hope, restoring your true identity as my infinitely beloved daughter. You will no longer walk bowed down by the humiliation of loss, but you will lift your face with the glorious dignity that I myself have returned to you. There is still one last word, a spiritual key that will open all the doors that were locked in your mind, a definitive answer that seals this entire encounter and sets you free forever. If you feel the gentle touch of these new garments upon your soul, let your joy overflow as proof that you accept and receive this celestial new beginning. May your heart beat with the desire to enroll, never again to lose your true identity in my unconditional love. Share this sacred renewal with that soul that has also forgotten its own worth and weeps in the shadows. Tell me, what was the pain that most stained your history and that you finally share with me today? Write the word renewal in the comments and prepare your inner self, because the final answer will soon echo and fill your entire being. Your heart has come this far because there was a sacred and unavoidable purpose in this encounter. I accompanied every accelerated beat of your chest and every tear that threatened to fall as you listened to my voice touching your silence. Your soul was thirsting for confirmation, for a divine sign that you had not been forgotten on your solitary journey. And my answer to you, the profound revelation I promised from the first breath of this surrender, is that your human limitation is only the beginning of my glory in your life. You were not called to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. You were chosen to be carried and sustained in my arms when struggles try to collapse upon your mind. This is the answer your spirit needed to hear to breathe in complete peace again. Your victory does not depend on the exhaustion of your strength, but on my constant and invisible presence in your story. Therefore, like a breath of healing and authority, I now reveal the whispered word that was promised at the beginning, the spiritual key that seals your new time and unlocks the peace of your tomorrow. Write here in the comments our phrase of faith, declaring with all the strength and surrender of your soul, I can do all things through him who strengthens me. Make this phrase your impenetrable shield. When fear tries to return in the coming dawns, remember that you are not and will never be alone. And this is not our last moment together. My love for you has depths you do not yet know, and there are secrets of peace, direction, and provision that I still want to reveal to you in our next journeys. Let your spirit rest and be embraced in the other messages I have already prepared for you on this channel's playlist, listening to the sequence of my love letters for your healing. Before your pain fades, receive this final whisper from me. I am your constant peace when your mind cries out for war. I am your absolute support when the doors seem locked. Rest, my daughter, for your tomorrow has already been written and blessed by me.